We take no sides in the Saturday versus Sunday debate, nor do we champion the sabbatical movement. At the Bible Investigation Bureau, we don't answer to tradition, we answer to truth. Our allegiance is not to man-made customs or denominational lines, but to the unfiltered, investigative pursuit of what Scripture actually says. If it's true, we follow it. If it's not, we don't, no matter how long it's been practiced. For 1,700 years, we've been celebrating the wrong new moon, and it's changing when you should be keeping the Sabbath. At the Bible Investigation Bureau, we don't answer to tradition, we answer to truth. Our allegiance is to the unfiltered, investigative pursuit of what Scripture actually says. From the beginning of Genesis 1:16, we find that the greater light rules the day. This means the visible sun rules the daylight from east to west and never from west to east during the night. The stars rule from east to west for the entire night. Just as the sun and starry constellations visibly arise in the east to rule, so too does the brilliant full moon rise and rule from the east to west. This means that the sun has already set on the night the moon beacons the start of the new month. Only one lunar phase meets this criterion, as it appears in its brilliance and journeys across the starry heavens from horizon to horizon. The wilderness sanctuary and the later temples were consistently oriented to the east. This is because time begins in the east. What is proclaimed by the Torah, Law, and Tanakh, OT, regarding the prophetic set-apart full moon is that it was preordained to announce the start of years, months, the count to the seventh-day Sabbaths, count of days, and the count to each annual feast day forever, even unto the time of the restored earth. Isaiah 66:23. Additionally, none of us were ever taught that the 29 and 30 distinct lunar phases were designed to demarcate each day of the lunar month with its own unique lunar phase, numbering them from 1, 29, or 30. Yet these were ordained so that all one needs to do is look up to know what day, week, and even month of the year it is at any given time. Lastly, the moon was divinely designed to perpetually maintain the east-west pragmatic standard for our timekeeping today at the very time of the fulfillment of the final feast day prophecies of our Messiah, unto the completion of his work of salvation. Therefore, the calendar used at the giving of the prophecies is the one to be used at their end-time fulfillment. New moon and renewed moon terminology options. The term new moon has been defined as the dark lunar phase for nearly 1,700 years. When the rabbinical Jews adopted the dark lunar phase in the 4th century AD to represent the start of lunar months, they applied the biblical Hebrew term, Chodesh H-2320, to it, which means new. Much later, the Kareti Jews adopted the first visible crescent and called it new as well. When the Bible began to be translated into English, Chodesh was translated as new moon. So, with both options being one day apart and being called new, it was determined that the full moon that occurs 15 days later within this lunar month cycle was to be called the renewed moon. Yet nowhere in all of Scripture is the term Chodesh tied to either the dark or the crescent. Instead, these are both new moon wannabes. But this wasn't always the case, as you will discover in this article. For the previous 4,000 years, the start of the month had been the full moon, the only lunar phase honored and guarded by Yahweh's faithful followers. Compare the definition from H-2320 with H-2318. Notice each maintains the exact same Hebrew spelling with no vowel points. From this second definition, H-2318, we discover that Chodesh means all three: new, renewed, and repaired. So the question remains, now that we are restoring the full moon as the start of lunar years and months, what are we to call it? Should we be concerned that if we call it the new moon along with its new moon day designation, it may confuse some folks? Or should we call it the renewed moon along with its renewed moon day designation, a title that will never be found in Scripture to correlate with it and support it, except in Hebrew? While it is somewhat of a conundrum, moving forward, it seems essential to tie it to what translators have provided as new moon and its designated new moon day. But theoretically, H-2318 and the full moon are represented by all three: new, renewed, and repaired. As a result, this article will refer to the full moon as the full new moon and the new moon day as the full new moon day, because it is the name given for the start of lunar months throughout. How the Creator's calendar works. Here is an example of how the creator's calendar works. Note that this blue calendar example, while providing the 29, 30 days of the lunar month with the large numbers that begin with the full new moon day, #2320, HDSH Chodesh, new moon, lunar month, the first day of the lunar month. Each month it also breaks down the 4 divisions of the lunar month into lunar weeks, always made up of 7 days. Each lunar week then ends with the authentic lunar 7th day Sabbath. When each lunar month ends, it is refreshed and renewed with the next full moon as the new moon and the start of the new lunar month. New moon day, day 1, 6 workdays, 2-7, followed by the first Sabbath, day 8, 6 workdays, 9-14, followed by the second Sabbath, day 15, 6 workdays, 16-21, followed by the third Sabbath, day 22, 6 workdays, 23-28, followed by the fourth Sabbath, day 29. Transition, free day. Day 30 occurs every other month. New moon day, day 1, 6 workdays, 2-7, followed by the first Sabbath. Day 8, 6 workdays, 9-14, followed by the second Sabbath. Day 15, 6 workdays, 16-21, followed by the third Sabbath. Day 22, 6 workdays, 23-28, followed by the fourth Sabbath. Day 29. Note that each consecutive month begins with the full new moon day, which refreshes and renews the count of days, and the 4 weeks to complete the next lunar month layout, plus or minus the 30th day. The very fact that the new moon day exists causes it to break the cycle of weeks every lunar month. Interestingly, while the Sabbath is always the 7th day of the week, it is never the 7th day of the lunar month for the mere fact that the new moon day exists. You've just uncovered a glimpse of a truth long hidden, a puzzle piece in a much larger picture of divine design and cosmic deception. But this is only the beginning. The next episode will take you deeper into the evidence, revealing more layers of the Creator's original time system, the hijacking of sacred days, and the countdown to the final call. Will you be ready when the next piece is revealed?